and never split the difference. Former FBI hostage. Negotiator Chris Voss reveals negotiation techniques honed over years of dealing with criminals, terrorists, and high-stakes life-or-death situations. These principles, though born in crisis scenarios, apply powerfully in everyday business and personal negotiations. The book dismantles the myth of rational decision-making and introduces tactical empathy, psychological nuance, and human connection as the foundation for persuasive power. Chapter 1: The New Rules. Voss opens with a dramatic hostage scenario to show that negotiation is not a rational game of logic but an emotional process. Classical negotiation theory emphasizes compromise and logic, but Voss argues that true negotiation requires understanding the emotions and perspectives of the counterpart. He introduces the idea that splitting the difference is often a weak solution because it leaves both parties unsatisfied. Instead, negotiators must embrace empathy and human behavior patterns to create real influence. He emphasizes emotions drive behavior, so understanding them gives you leverage. Chapter 2: Be a Mirror. The key lesson here is mirroring, subtly repeating the last 3 words or the most important part of what someone has just said. This simple tactic builds connection, slows the conversation, and encourages your counterpart to elaborate. Combined with silence and a calm tone, mirroring creates a rhythm that allows information to flow. Voss shows how mirroring triggers instinctive responses, leading the other person to reveal more than they intended. It's not manipulation. It's attentive listening deployed strategically. Chapter 3: Don't Feel Their Pain, Label It. In this chapter, Voss introduces labeling, the act of identifying and naming your counterpart's emotions. Phrases like, "It seems like you're frustrated," or "It sounds like you're concerned," validate the other person's feelings and diffuse tension. Neuroscience shows that labeling emotions reduces their intensity. Labeling demonstrates empathy, builds trust, and moves the negotiation into a collaborative space. This chapter underlines that naming someone's pain is more powerful than solving it directly. Chapter 4: Beware yes, master no. Contrary to popular belief, getting a yes isn't the holy grail. People often say yes just to end a conversation. Voss emphasizes the power of no. It makes the speaker feel safe, protected, and in control. Allowing people to say no disarms resistance. Instead of asking, "Do you have a few minutes?" ask, "Is now a bad time?" This flips pressure into permission. Reframing your questions to invite a no builds trust and progresses the conversation honestly. Chapter 5: Trigger the 2 words that immediately transform any negotiation. This chapter introduces one of the most crucial tools, getting your counterpart to say, "That's right." When people say, "You're right," they are usually just appeasing you. But "that's right" means they feel deeply understood. Achieving that response means you've accurately summarized their viewpoint and shown empathy. Voss shows how to use paraphrasing, labeling, and mirroring to draw out a "that's right," a psychological turning point in negotiation. Chapter 6: Bend Their Reality. Here, Voss talks about how to shape the perception of value. Anchoring, loss aversion, and deadlines are key tools. People fear loss more than they value gain. So instead of offering a benefit, describe what they'll lose if they don't agree. Also, starting with an extreme anchor, a high price or bold demand, reshapes the playing field. He introduces the Ackerman Model, a tactical bargaining method using calculated offers to reach an optimal outcome. This method involves starting low, making calibrated increases, and using non-monetary items to sweeten the deal. Chapter 7: Create the Illusion of Control. This chapter revolves around calibrated questions, open-ended, thought-provoking questions that begin with how or what. These create the illusion of control in your counterpart while steering the conversation your way. Questions like, "How am I supposed to do that?" force the other party to consider your position. These queries invite problem-solving and keep emotions in check while shifting the burden of a solution. Voss insists, smart negotiators let the other side have the illusion of power. Chapter 8: Guarantee Execution. It's not enough to get agreement. You must ensure it's followed through. Voss stresses the importance of observing tone, body language, and micro-behaviors. He introduces the idea of the yes trap. People say yes to please you, but may not follow through. To counter this, Voss uses the 3 types of yes: counterfeit, confirmation, and commitment. Only commitment signals real intent. Confirm follow-through with questions like, "What does that look like?" and "How will we know it's done?" Chapter 9, Bargain Hard. Bargaining is an emotional game. Voss outlines the Ackerman Model in depth. 1. Set your target price. 2. Make an initial offer at 65%. 3. Increase to 85%, then 95%, and finally 100%. Between each offer, use calibrated questions and silent pauses. The final number should be oddly specific, e.g., $37,950, and you can throw in a non-monetary item to suggest you're at your limit. These techniques break down resistance and make your counterpart feel like they've won. Chapter 10. Find the Black Swan. Every negotiation contains unknown variables, hidden truths that can change everything. Voss calls these black swans. Finding them requires deep listening, curiosity, and observation. People often hide information, not out of malice, but because no one asked the right question. By building trust, labeling emotions, and staying alert to subtle cues, you can uncover the small details that shift power. Black swans may include personal motivations, unspoken deadlines, or rival offers. Finding them can be the difference between failure and total success. Conclusion: the power of tactical empathy. Chris Voss's core message is that empathy, not aggression, is the key to effective negotiation. Empathy is not agreement. It's the ability to understand and influence. The best negotiators don't push harder. They listen more. They slow things down. They embrace silence. They let the other person feel seen. These tools, from mirroring to calibrated questions to labeling, allow you to disarm tension and create real connection. Whether you're negotiating a salary, buying a car, or managing conflict, these lessons shift the game from compromise to collaboration. Never Split the Difference isn't just a negotiation manual. It's a philosophy rooted in emotional intelligence, psychological leverage, and the power of human connection. It teaches us to listen not just with our ears, but with our entire presence, and to see negotiation not as a battle, but as a dance.